Hi, I'm Bernice Ruin, a Pampered Chef independent consultant, and today I'd like to share with you some of our essential baking items. I have 3 products I'd like to talk to you about. We have our pastry roller, which I absolutely love, and you're going to hear me say that probably a lot about our products. I love them. I have a lot of go-to products. I also have a biscuit cutter mix to show you, and our pastry mat. And I think we're going to start off with our pastry mat. So the first thing I'm going to tell you, the number of our pastry mat is 1718, and our baker roller is 1485, and our biscuit cutter set of 4 different sizes is 1103. So let's start with the pastry mat. First thing I think you're going to notice is how large it is. It is definitely oversized. In fact, it is larger than my cutting board that I'm using right now. So what we do have at the bottom, I'm going to just fold this for a second because it is so large. You will see the measurements there in centimeters. Okay. If we flip it to this side, you're going to see measurements in inches, okay? And then along the other edge, the left and the right, your more narrow side, again, you're gonna see centimeters, and you're also gonna see the inches. So that's the first thing to notice, is that the pastry mat will have measuring stripes all the way around it. To make it a lot easier for you, for whatever you may be baking, whatever you might be rolling out. Maybe you're making some cookies and you want them to be like 1 inch wide, 2 inches wide. You know, you can use this for a reference point. The next thing is look at the center part. That's really nice. So you have a lot of different dimensions that you could roll out like a pie dough to. You could roll out a pizza. I like to use this for my pizza crust. I like to roll it out to the outer 12 inches. And I use my pastry roller to roll out my pizza dough. It really works nice. I also buy a Pillsbury pie crust just to save time. And one of the things you probably know with the pie crust, a lot of times it's just a little too small for the pie pan. So what I do is I put it on my pastry mat, and then I take my baker's roller, and then I just lightly roll it and just make it just a little larger. And then it's just perfect for fitting in my pie pan, and then putting a crust on top of it, and then you can kind of pinch it around. The baker roller is nice because you got a large side and you got a small side. So after you put that, I made a strawberry rhubarb pie. After you put that pie together, you've got this little pastry tool. It fits right inside here, where you can press it across the pie crust to vent it and let some air out. And then you can just pop it right back in here so you don't lose it. So you've got, let's see, I just want to read this to you. 4 inches, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So you got a lot of different diameters that you could roll something out to. So that might be nice if you're making like a chicken pot pie, which is always so good. Maybe you need a 10-inch round circle to measure out to, or maybe you're making those personal sized chicken pot pies or mince pie, or whatever you're making, and maybe you just need to use the center circle and make a little smaller crust to then put on top of your pie. You've got your baker's roller. Maybe you want the smaller side to do that with, and then you've got your little pastry tool. I like to also roll out my pizza dough on here, put it on my rock crock stone, and then I take the small side of this and then just kind of, make it fit the pan so it's nice and perfect. And then I do this. I use this to pierce the pizza dough just to let a little air in it. Bakes a little nicer that way. I do want to tell you, when I do put my store-bought Pillsbury crust on here, not only did it roll out really nice, I didn't have to add any flour to the pastry mat. I didn't add any flour to the roller, and it just worked perfect. It really was great. Again, look at the oversizedness of this. This is huge, which is nice. It covers your workspace beautifully. I'm a little messy with flour, so when I'm putting flowers on stuff, you know, sometimes it gets on the countertop. But when I'm working with my pastry mat, this is large enough to catch all that extra flour that I might have. So what else do I like to make with this? Well, I like to use my biscuit cutters. And I do have a couple other YouTube videos on my channel. I have one, I know I have one for the mat and also for the baker's roller. And these are really nice because I would roll out my dough. I make a nice biscuit dough, maybe just a real simple dough. Maybe add a little cheese to it. Little fresh herbs are always nice. And then you've got these 4 size of your biscuit cutters. So I have a really large one to a really small one. So if you're like me, if you like your biscuits with maybe a little bit more of that crunchier exterior edge and then the soft center, you're gonna love this little one because you're gonna make a lot more small biscuits and they're gonna have a little bit more of the edge on the outside. If you're more into a fluffier, softer biscuit, then maybe you want to get into one of the larger sizes. This one's pretty large. Maybe you want to get into a larger size, which is nice. I want to also show you, look at the nice little holding edge here that you have. So, you know, you've got something to hold on to. So, you know, when you're pressing out your biscuits, you just want to press down and up. You don't want to twist it. You don't want that because that can impact the fluffiness of your biscuits. So you just press down and then up. Don't have to just use these for biscuits. So look at the different sizes that you have. Again, we talked a little bit about, like, do you like a pot pie? Well, I love chicken pot pie, and I like the little individual ones because you get more crust that way. So what you could absolutely do is you take your roller, clean up here for a second, take your pastry mat. You know, you could actually roll out a nice generous size, and then you could cut out with this some of the crust top for those chicken pot pies, and then you got your little pastry tool there to vent them a little bit. Maybe make little apple pies or cherry pies. I think the options are kind of endless in how you can actually use these. Again, 4 different sizes. I think you probably could get creative. I think you could make like a little snowman out of them or something, this big snowman cookie or something. I think there's a lot you can do with them. It comes with just this little plastic container, which is nice because then, you know, they stack. Isn't that nice? I mean, when things stack and you have a little container to put them in, you're less likely to lose them. They won't be just loose in a drawer, and they stack, so they don't take a lot of space. Your pastry mat is dishwasher safe on the top dishwasher rack, but I always hand wash it. You know, it's kind of big to put in the dishwasher, and you can very quickly clean this and then just quickly dry it and put it away. It is, again, extra large, so what is nice, if you are making cookies and you're cutting them out, you could use part of your mat to roll out your dough, and another part of your mat could actually have your cookies before you put them on your cookie tray. That's another option. And then our baker's roller. This is really nice. You got a small side, you got a large side. It fits well into your hand. I don't know if you can see, like here you go, you got the indentions there for your fingers. So it fits in, so when you are rolling, look how nice that fits in your hand. Very nice. If you're left-handed, it'll fit well in your left hand also. So again, this is our baker's roller, our pastry mat, our biscuit cutters, and I do find that I'm using these quite often for pizzas, for pies, chicken pot pies, cookies. The options really are endless also, and I do find these to be starting to become a couple more of my go-to Pampered Chef baking items. So thank you for stopping by.